Hey guys, it's Mike, marketingmike.com, and today I want to talk about something critically important if you're in sales, and that is getting through to the decision maker and making sure that they have the financial wherewithal to make the purchase or invest in your product or service. Because I can tell you that in the last 2.5 decades that I've been doing consulting and been in the role of business development, I've seen time after time sales reps calling and speaking 15, 20, 30 minutes an hour with someone giving it everything they've got, giving the greatest pitch in the world with enthusiasm and facts and figures, only to find out that guy couldn't make a decision if he wanted to. He's just being friendly and listening because, heck, he wants to talk to somebody. But that is such an enormous waste of time, okay? You need to only be talking to someone who can make that decision. Because many times what happens is after you have, gone on for 15, 20, 30 minutes, what that individual will say is, well, I'll tell you what, let me talk to my manager or the VP of sales or whoever makes a decision here, and I'll make sure that I tell them everything that you've told me. And you and I both know what happens. They don't remember anything after you get off the phone. It's like, hey, this guy called me and it sounds okay. You might want to give him a call or he's going to call back. It's never going to happen, guys. I was doing a lot of consulting for a local facility support company, and they basically work with schools, churches, industrial firms. And what they would do is they would provide maintenance services, and they would go in, everything from the custodial to changing the light bulbs to just anything that needed to be done as far as support of that facility, they would take care of. And the sales reps had been trained to call and talk to the facility manager or the facility director. And immediately I thought, oh my God, this is awful, because I know that facility director, although he may be incredibly proficient at fixing pipes, or making sure that the bushes and shrubs are trimmed properly, or that the lawn is manicured properly, has zero decision-making power and certainly has no ability to stroke a check to that particular company. So I said, look, what we need to be doing, or what you need to be doing, is targeting the superintendents of the schools, the senior pastor. You need to be talking to somebody who can look in that organization and, realize that, we have problems internally here. We have a staff internally. We're way overstaffed. And typically that superintendent or that senior pastor, they know that things are going on within the organization that aren't as efficient as they need to be. So what would happen is, and what I said we need to do is put together basically not a proposal, but a facility assessment, where we would go in, do soup to nuts, take a look at the facility, look at, what would be required if they were to outsource that to this particular firm. And in the vast majority of cases, they could cut their overall expenditure by 20, 30, 40, maybe as much as 50% by outsourcing those services instead of having staff internally. Now, of course, that caused a lot of problems with internal staff because, that fear of losing their job. And I mean, it's understandable, but, when you're in a crunch and the tithing is not as high as it should be, or the revenue is not flowing into the company the way it used to, a lot of times there's just no option to keep the doors open, okay? So basically, they would do the facility assessment upon my recommendation, and then what would happen is they would put the numbers together. It would be this much for the maintenance, this much for landscaping, this much to change the lights out, once a month or whatever it was, and provide that proposal to a decision maker like the superintendent, like the senior pastor, like, the director of management of that particular facility, people that can actually make the decision. Because what happens is if you delegate that and, you talk to someone who might be, the maintenance manager or facility manager, they really don't have a vested interest in being open and honest with you, because they know inherently that there are inefficiencies, okay? They know that they're screwing off, the people that work for them were screwing off. So obviously when, a rep from that particular company would come in, they weren't thrilled. But the bottom line is, don't waste your time speaking with someone that cannot make a decision. And you need to be able to discern that, okay? And and it's not hard to do, guys, okay? I mean, you may not get through to the CEO of the company, but you're probably going to get through to, VP of sales, VP of marketing, director at some level. And it's very easy. You just need to ask, let me ask you, Mary, who makes the decisions? If we were to come in and do an assessment of your facility, who would it be that would finally make the decision to make a financial investment with our firm, if you decided to move along? And they're very happy to tell you. Okay, so look, just qualify. Make sure you're talking to the decision maker so you're not wasting your time speaking with people that ultimately cannot make a decision. All right, I know I rambled on for a while, guys, on this one, but I tell you, it's so critically important. Time is so precious, and you only have a finite number, typically, of people that you can contact about whatever product or service that you have. So you need to make sure that you're laser focused on finding the person that can make the decision and that can stroke that check. All right. So listen, do me a favor. Go to marketingmike.com, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you go over to marketingmike.com, though, you can subscribe, because not only will I be sending you videos like this and notifications, but also a plethora of written information, stuff I've written in the past, things I'm writing now that will be of tremendous benefit. All right? So anyway, thanks for watching, and talk to you next time.